Ready to go? Yeah. All right, perfect. So, my name's Andy Burnham, Financial Management Consulting Director at Stantec, and I'm happy today to go through a virtual demonstration of our financial modeling system, FAMS. This example is for a water utility that we've identified a number of key performance indicators, but obviously your eyes are really drawn to the graphs at the bottom. And for any one of these charts and graphs, you can click on it and you can expand it so that you can really dive in and see on your full screen exactly what's going on. It's customizable, and we can make this look and feel just like how you do business and track the things that you want to track. Right now, the financial management system is really looking at how is your current system of rates, fees, and charges performing, and is it generating enough revenue to meet your ongoing cost requirements? What we have the ability to do in the model is to go in and say, well, what would it take for us to be sustainable? And the model can solve for exactly what level of rate increases you need in each year of the forecast period to meet your identified expenditure requirements and key performance indicators. We have the ability, once we've run scenarios like this, to create and name them. And so in this case, we've created a name for the scenario of just-in-time rates. And with all scenarios that we create in the FAMS tool, for all users for your version of FAMS, you could share scenarios with them, or you could just have them for yourself. And so now we've saved that just-in-time rate scenario because we like the fact that it's hitting our key performance indicators. And so we've labeled it just-in-time rates. And we can compare that and pull it back to the baseline scenario, as you can see, with no rate increases. However, you can see in the no rate increase scenario, the alarm bell has a couple of alarms that indicates we weren't meeting our financial requirements. But when we click back to the just-in-time rate scenario, you can see those alarms go away because we're meeting all of our identified key performance indicators. So the system is set up to help you with flags understand when a scenario that you're looking at isn't meeting any or all of your key performance indicators and financial requirements. And so one of the things that's also instructive to do is, once we've identified what that just-in-time plan is to look at a different plan of increases that's more level, more modest, more predictable for customers versus just-in-time rates that oftentimes have spikes. You may have a low increase one year, but a large increase in the subsequent year. So we have the ability in the model to come in and override the increases, such as I'm doing now, to go ahead and put in an equal annual plan of increases. So if I were to put in 4%, I could use the radio button to drag it, or simply type in a percentage increase, go back to the control panel, click the calculate button, and then see what happens with a more level equalized plan of increases. You could see that we would not only meet our operating fund cash requirements, but we would also have a little bit of surplus funds potentially in the out years. And this is a good example of how we can use the tool to develop an alternative level rate plan that is maybe more palatable and affordable to customers that avoids rate spikes. And so now that we've saved that rate plan, we have the ability to compare, say, that 4% rate plan side by side versus the just-in-time rate plan. So if I click the just-in-time rate plan, now you can see scenario A is our equal plan of increases, and scenario B is our level plan of increases. And so you can see not only the level of rate increases for each of these options, but also the level of reserves by year. And one of the things that we have the ability to do within the model is to adjust the time period within which we look at this. So right now this is set on a 10-year time period, but we could just as easily come in and truncate our view if we're more focused on a shorter term, say a 5-year period. You can create a customized dashboard that tracks all of the things that are most important to you as it relates to your utility enterprise or government service. You have the ability to control how many things are on your own KPI dashboard, which things, and the order in which they appear. One of the key elements of the FAMS system is the ability to go in and actually make changes to your capital improvement program. We're able to quickly go into the tool and then say, well, what type of adjustments would we need to make to our rate plan to be able to support that level of capital spending? And so now what we're able to do in the system is to go in and say, well, we've evaluated the updated capital improvement program cost, put it in the model. We've seen that it's now caused our 4% plan to not meet our requirements, so we can clear out those 4% increases and develop a new plan of just-in-time rates or level plan of increases that will allow us to meet our financial requirements. And this is giving us the ability to, in the context of an important capital project discussion, have real-time answers to the impacts of changes in our capital improvement program as that information is becoming available to us. We're able to really export any of the detailed information in the tool itself, whether it's source data, key assumptions, forecast of revenues, expenses, cost escalation factors for any given scenario. So after we've run through our additional capital improvement expenses, remodified our rate plan, we want to export these results into an Excel workbook. We can actually then take those and do further off-sheet manual manipulation of those, or better yet, if you're comfortable with the results and it's time to put them into your budgets, you can export those things into Excel, into a customized format that's created for you to accelerate the import back into your standard enterprise systems. We do customize the system to be able to receive your data in the format that your system exports it. And through the process, we have the ability for you to upload data. You receive new notifications that your model's been updated, and you're able to then be able to update all of your scenarios with the new updated models reflecting the latest and greatest information. We've embedded a lot of support tools and resources into the FAMS itself. So simply being able to look at and scroll through tips for first-time users as an available screen that comes up in the model is one thing. We go a step further with our help resources and actually prepare a customized user manual that shows step-by-steps for each of the different tabs of the FAMS system, what feeds where, and how you need to make updates to the different information and to evaluate your changes. In addition, anytime that you have questions, there's an automatic email link that you can click that will generate an email to your personalized team that help develop, set up, and customize your version of FAMS. If you have questions about running different scenarios, you have instant access to help resources, and of course phone support is always available. One of the things that comes up from a scenario standpoint that our clients oftentimes have to deal with are changes in economic conditions. And the FAMS model is perfectly suited to be able to look at that. The ability to look at adjusting your growth assumptions for your system as well as any growth dependent expenses are easy things to do within the model. So you can adjust down the growth rates, take that growth related capital improvement program that maybe is attached to growth and defer it a couple years based upon that change in your economic conditions. And then again, rerun the scenario itself and then be able to save that. And perhaps it's a change in conditions or a key stress test or sensitivity analysis that you need to run. You're able to run all those things, save them as scenarios, and potentially share them with internal or external stakeholders as may be appropriate. FAMS really addresses a long-standing need that communities have had to have tools that really operate and reflect the 21st century. And so we're privileged and happy to bring a solution to communities that helps them do better financial planning, be able to look at all their options in real time, be able to evolve and change with their conditions, be able to update their data and result in productivity gains and efficiencies that previously were unheard of. It's obviously been a short demo, but we'd love the opportunity to have a discussion with you about how FAMS can be employed to meet your needs.